Blair the Illuminati is in trouble. Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and I'm going to talk about another YouTuber. I'm going to talk about Blair the Illuminaughtii. Now, I like Blair the Illuminati's videos, especially like the corporate casket, her videos on multi-level marketing schemes. I actually think her videos do a service to many people. There are a few videos that she's done that I do not quite agree with. Won't share which ones they are because it's not important to this conversation really. But I do overall like her videos. However, the Illuminaughtii has come under a lot of fire over the years for several things. One, she apparently doesn't treat her editors very well. She reportedly has a huge ego. And those are things that I could care less about. I kind of feel like to be successful in whatever field you are, you almost have to have an ego. You have to have a holier-than-thou attitude to really be successful for the most part. But the biggest complaint, I should say, that has come across with her is that she is a potential plagiarizer. And here's the thing. I have noticed this a few times myself. I have watched some of the Illuminati's videos, and I have seen documentaries on this same subject, and many of the facts and events happen in the same order, in the same type of words. Now, admittingly, it is hard to state facts in a creative way, and in fact, I think there's a little bit of a gray area here because, yeah, when you are discussing the facts of something, it's not like you can change the facts just so that it doesn't sound similar. Sometimes things sound similar because you're talking about this topic, this documentary is talking about this topic, and guess what? You're gonna pretty much talk about the events in the same order, because that's just how it works. So I don't want to act like this is something that should be obvious to avoid. It's not an obvious thing to avoid. However, she has come under fire because recently one of the editors of a YouTube channel called Legal Eagle reached out to her because there was an effect with like a torn page. You've probably seen it. A lot of YouTubers use it, and they want to know how that was done. Now, no one on the Illuminati's team helped them. Other YouTube creators helped them, and so these people made a Legal Eagle video with that effect. Blair got so upset, she went on Twitter, and she basically accused Legal Eagle of plagiarizing her style and her videos. And, of course, this is a common style. She doesn't own any of this, but it created a bit of a problem because it inspired people to actually call out her supposed plagiarism. And they've shown clips of like movies or TV documentaries compared to her videos and how eerily similar everything was. Then some of her old friends from a YouTube channel she did in the past called Sad Milk also came out and claimed that she really was not that great of a person, that she bullied people, that she had an ego, that she did this, she did that. And so Illuminaughtii took down the tweet. She did reach out to Legal Eagle personally and apologize, which I will give credit for. But then she made an apology video, and the video did not go over well. Now, this video was like 45 minutes long, something like that. And I am not going to sit here and dissect the whole thing. I really do not want to examine every nook and cranny of apology videos as if we're looking for the flaw in the apology. But I did watch the video, as I watch a lot of her videos, and I saw overall what the problem was. And the problem with the Illuminati's apology video is that she's pretending to accept responsibility while not really vowing to change. I mean, yes, things like "I will do better" appear in the video. But the whole tone of the video is basically passing the buck along, with the exception of apologizing to Legal Eagle and saying that she had a hot take and she should have thought for a minute before she posted everything. That's well and good, but one thing she doesn't apologize for, she doesn't apologize for actually like accusing Legal Eagle and his staff for plagiarism. Then she goes on to talk about the history of Sad Milk and all of these situations. And in each situation, surprise, surprise, she's the good one. She's the one who took initiative to do this, do that. You know, when this person was, you know, on this Discord server and saying things like this, I passed it on to the legal team or whatever, or whoever the moderators are, and I hope that they would do their thing. When I talked to this person, I expressed discomfort and I said I didn't want to do this. And so it's always like making her look good. And at the end of this 45-minute video, she basically apologizes for one thing. And that one thing is that she was too quick to jump on Twitter and have a hot take. She doesn't apologize for having the added accusing him or trying to accuse him of plagiarizing stuff, which is a very serious accusation. She doesn't apologize for how she treats her editors or her old friends. She doesn't acknowledge the previous plagiarism claims that have been made against her. I remember there was a time when someone made a video about something. It was about an MLM. Her video came out first. Then Blair's video came out shortly afterwards, looking very, very similar. This person reaches out to Blair, and instead of actually working on things, Blair basically shamed her into removing that video and taking down the video that questioned the plagiarism, and basically is like, oh yeah, you take it down, apologize, and I'll let it go. This is Blair speaking. Things like that are what people are bothered by. And she doesn't actually address any of that in this video that she did. Here's the other thing. You kind of get the sense after this video was put out that maybe she wasn't being completely kosher. She literally threw everyone she worked with at Sad Milk under the bus. She was not in the wrong. They were all in the wrong. Heck, one of the guys, the Click, she kind of almost indiscreetly or indirectly almost suggested that he had, let's say, grown-up people liking little kids mentality. She did state, I have no proof of that, and there's nothing to suggest that happened, but the way she talked about him, it seemed like she was planting that idea there. So what do all these people do? Well, they all get together, they all release individual videos, and they all denounce that this was what the problem was, and they all get on Blair's case. And this is kind of one of those situations where, yeah, sometimes you have clicks, and the clicks will, like, say something against someone, but you kind of wonder, like, is there not a single person on that team that defends Blair? Like, if there was more than one story behind this, why aren't they saying, well, this is how I remember, this is how I remember? In all the cases, the Sad Milk people pretty much were all in unanimous agreement that Blair's version of events was not accurate, and that she was messy and she was a pain to work with and she had this huge ego. Again, things that I personally do not care about, but some people do. But the main reason I think this apology didn't work is because basically it kind of seemed like there was a lot being said while nothing was being said. Blair is not addressing the plagiarism accusations that have been levied against her. She's not really addressing some of the complaints on poor interactions people have had with her. When it comes to her former staff members, they all seem to be in the wrong, but she's not. And, you know, they have the receipts to back things up. She largely does not. Apparently, there's even still elements that she's not discussing because, she does admit in the video, at the very least, that she does care what people think about her. And to a certain extent, I get that. You know, you make videos, you make content, you put them out to the world, you want to be liked. And there's always going to be some people that don't like you. And I've been in situations, like I've been on the end of like a spamming campaign where a bunch of people just spammed one of my videos. And it's mentally, it's not great. You feel pretty bad after doing it. But basically, I think it's one of those methinks thou dost protest too much, where she protested about a lot of other people, but she didn't really seem to take in the core complaints, which is she was complaining about someone else plagiarizing. She got hit with plagiarism claims. Video clips kind of prove that there might be something there, and she more or less apologized for other things and brushed these accusations under the rug. In fact, she complained about other things and just complained like, look, I tried to fix this and I passed this along to them and they didn't fix it, and so I should do better. I should have been more on top. Like what? Like you had no real role in any of this. It was all someone else's fault that things happened. Yeah, whatever. So that's my thought on this whole Illuminaughtii business thing. I'll still watch her videos, and honestly, folks, I think she's going to be fine. I mean, yeah, her views have definitely taken a little bit of a hit, but she gets a lot of views, and I think people will largely forget about this, especially if she does the smart thing and she stays off Twitter for a while. You know, let the work do the speaking for herself. Don't get into any more fights. If anything, she should just learn not to try to call people out. Like, yeah, it's always fun to call people out until they point out something you did and all of a sudden you're under the microscope. There's a reason I don't like Twitter mobs very much. But with that said, I'd like to know, what do you think about this whole Blair the Illuminaughtii controversy, and what's your opinion of her video? I'll actually link to it below so you can watch the video. It's kind of long, so, you know, that's why I wasn't going to get into a tit for tat about it. But I'd like to know what you think about it, so comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.